India and Bangladesh in wake of attacks on Hindus and other minority communities. Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri will be landing in Bangladesh shortly for a day-long trip, where he is expected to discuss India's concerns regarding recent events. Now, during the visit, Foreign Secretary will hold comprehensive discussions with his Bangladeshi counterpart, MD Jashim Uddin, and also meet Mohammad Tawheed Hussain, the country's de facto foreign minister. Now, he's also expected to call on Chief Advisor Muhammad Yunus. MEA spokesperson has now also confirmed the visit and states that these consultations are a key component of the ongoing structured engagement between India and Bangladesh, aimed at enhancing diplomatic relations and addressing a range of mutual concerns. Now, the issue of attack on Hindus in Bangladesh likely will be dominating the agenda, other than the trade, energy, joint projects. Now, this marks the first high-level visit from New Delhi following the uprising in August that led to the end of deposed Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's 15-year rule. Well, joining us on the broadcast is our colleague Siddhant. A very good morning, Siddhant. What more details are we gathering on, especially the front that Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri will be landing in Bangladesh shortly for a day-long trip and will hold a slew of meetings in Bangladesh?
Well, Kuhina, this visit of Foreign Secretary is very, very significant. Perhaps the first high-level visit from Indian side. And in fact, Foreign Secretary would be landing in Dhaka shortly. He has 3 to 4 engagements, and perhaps we could expect him to return today itself. So he would be meeting his Bangladeshi counterpart, after which he would call on the chief advisor. He would also call on the foreign advisor of Bangladesh. This meeting is happening at a time when in last 15 days or even more than that, there have been many developments on as far as India-Bangladesh relations are concerned. Especially the tensions have escalated after the arrest of Chinmay Das Prabhu. There have been multiple well-documented incidents of violence against Hindus and other minorities in Bangladesh. And Kuhina, you remember, Prime Minister Modi is the first world leader to raise the issues of attacks on Hindus and other minorities in Bangladesh. And perhaps now the world is talking about it, from the parliament in Britain to Canada to Australia. In fact, President-elect Donald Trump, all have started talking about what's happening with Hindus in Bangladesh. So perhaps there's a global discourse which has started. Also, there is a concern, and that concern would be conveyed by the Indian side to the Bangladeshi authorities, to the Bangladeshi counterpart, regarding the concerns of India, what's happening in Bangladesh. At the same time, it's a multifaceted relationship, and perhaps Bangladesh is very important for India when it comes to peace, security, and stability of the region. Perhaps that would also be one domain which would be discussed during the meeting today. At the same time, there are many joint projects going on, including in the areas like energy, road construction, railway lines, freight corridor, etc., etc. Those issues will also be coming up. At the same time, since this is the first meeting, perhaps both sides will discuss how to navigate the relationship forward. And perhaps this could be seen as also an attempt to de-escalate tensions which is going on between two countries. Because, the challenge before India is that India does not want Bangladesh to slip away.
Right.
At the same time, India also wants Bangladesh to ensure that the Hindus and other minorities are safe. And perhaps it's a big task for the government of India.
And Siddhant, but help us also understand, given the timing of this visit, how do you expect the issue of attacks on Hindus in Bangladesh to feature in all of the discussion and the agendas of the day between India and Bangladesh? And can we really expect any concrete outcomes?
Yeah, we could expect some commentary in the readout by India as far as the attacks on Hindus in Bangladesh is concerned, since Foreign Secretary is traveling. India is concerned. And as I said before, that it's Prime Minister Modi who spoke for the first time about the attacks on Hindus in Bangladesh. In fact, after the arrest of Chinmay Das Prabhu, India demanded free and fair trial for him. India keeps monitoring what's happening in Bangladesh. So those concerns will be shared with Bangladesh, and it would really be interesting to see that how Bangladesh is going to reply to that. Though all these meetings are going to be the closed door meetings, but we could expect some commentary from the Indian side in the readout which would be released.
Right, Siddhant, also, well, thank you so much, Siddhant, for bringing in all those details. Well, first, now let's take a look at the political reactions on this report.
How do you view the attacks on Hindus in Bangladesh and Bangladesh's friendly relationship now with Pakistan? Do you think that, do you rule out any punitive economic measures?
Well, I strongly condemn what is happening to the Hindus in Bangladesh. I have the confidence that the government there will act on it. We have our Foreign Secretary visiting Bangladesh on Monday to meet Mr. Mohammad Yunus and other senior leaders. The government of India has taken it up at every level very, very strongly. And all such efforts to attack people on the basis of caste or religion is truly condemnable. And I do believe any effort also to derail the Indian economy and the India growth story, sometimes led by elements outside the country, about which we have recently also spoken about in Parliament.
Yes.
Efforts like the OCCRP coming out with reports hitting at the basic fabric of India, hitting at India's secular fabric, hitting at India's growth, coming out in a timed fashion, every time to coincide with the Parliament session. Such efforts often funded by vested interests inimical to India's growth story and growing importance, and very often also fueled by people from India, is extremely sad. I think when it comes to India, when it comes to Bharat, 140 crore Indians should stand united for the good of our people. It's unfortunate that so many years after history in the past, we had Jaychands once upon a time causing loss to the country. Sadly, we continue to have Jaychands amidst our midst even today.
Well, those were very sharp words of criticism and condemnation coming in from Piyush Goyal on the attacks of Hindus. Now, how will this high-level visit influence India's relationship with Bangladesh, especially in light of the recent political upheaval and the end of Sheikh Hasina's long rule? We'll continue to track updates and latest information on this. But right now, we're slipping into a very short break. Stay tuned. We'll be back.